confidence going for those jobs because I faced many rejections. I used to wake up in the morning and see my email full of like sorry, unfortunately. Make a repository of your star methods. Make a repository, like make a big resume out of which you can cut out things and make a tailored resume.
Today we had Shivansh, who's a data scientist with the government of UK, working for the Ministry of Education. This was an information-packed podcast.
I'm an HEO there, which is a higher executive officer. A day in my work will include, but I saved the coolest one for the last. It's the LLM, large language model stuff. Currently, most of the work in the market is being done on generative AI. One good thing about data science right now is like it's going forward at very fast pace. It's called prompt engineering. Our work environment is good. It's good will be an understatement. So it motivates you to do good, and it also maintains your work-life balance.
Hi, I'm interested in data analysis and visualization. If this thing improves further, where's my job going?
That's true, scary. It's like it's part of our work now.
Yeah.
To develop your critical thinking, your storytelling skills, your showcasing, reporting skills.
And I did expect a lot of exposure with the industry as well.
Oh yes,
I didn't see it as
well.
well.
Then I was in operations and I met a couple of guys. They were like, "Bro, do you want to exchange with us? We got testing." I said, no, I'm good.
So enjoy the podcast.
Controversy. That will get your video going well.
Hello, welcome to Ray Analytics. Today we had Shivansh, who's a data scientist with the government of UK, working for the Ministry of Education. This was an information-packed podcast, especially for somebody who's trying to break into a data field or a technology field. And there are lots of tips and suggestions that could be used by anyone who's trying to get a job in the UK. We looked at a day in his life of work, the kind of projects he does, the tools he uses, the processes he follows. We then moved on to see how he used to upskill himself, what are the sites he used to visit, how he used to do projects, and how he cracked the ATS and the interview processes and some interview questions as well. We had some tangential topics about university education and stuff. You might find it useful. So enjoy the podcast.
So Shivansh, welcome to Ray Analytics.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, when we are coming this way and the things that you taught, it's a lot of things in your brain. You just have to unpack it here. A lot of things to learn from your experiences and stuff. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, definitely. So I'm Shivansh and I'm not that famous, so you won't know me. That's all right. But I came here in UK to do my master's in data science couple of years ago. I think exactly 2 years and 2 weeks ago, and it went well. I got a job. So currently I'm working in Department for Education in gov.uk as a data scientist. And I'm an HEO there, which is a higher executive officer. And that's it. That's all about me.
Right. So do you want to give me a runabout of like a day in your work?
Correct. Yes. So a day in my work will include a morning call, which each and every one of us has. It's a morning scrum call, and followed by 3 of the projects which I'm currently working on side by side. But there's no hard and fast deadline, so you don't have to worry that I'm being stressed out working on 3 projects. It's not like that. So one of my projects is based on R. So it's the R backend. It's just normal coding and reviewing other people's stuff and the people reviewing my stuff and pushing it to the main. And the other one goes a bit of the front end. It's R Shiny, which is also cool, but I saved the coolest one for the last. It's the LLM, large language model stuff, which I've been working on. It's a topic modeling model which I am trying to develop using BERT topic and LLM, large language models, specifically GPT-4.
Right. So, without going into specifics, what it is, do you want to run us through the processes you do for the 3 projects? I get it. The first one and the second one is like a dashboard.
Yeah.
and the third one is like a LLM model. So do you
Correct.
wanna like what's the process you do without going into the output,
Okay, okay,
the
okay.
things that you
So,
can't say. Yeah.
so let me think what I can say. I think it's pretty all right for me to say some details in here.
Right.
So, my first two projects. So the first one is it's not a dashboard. It's nothing. It outputs an Excel file, which is kind
Right.
of sad.
Right.
Outputs in Excel files, but yeah, it works. It works for our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically deciding the value of fundings
Right.
which is being provided to institutes
Right.
across UK. And the second one is something of creating visualizations
Right.
about the data we have of the educational institutes. So we gather their data and kind of provide them with insights about it, and because that's what we are there for,
Right.
to make some meaning out of the
Right.
data.
Right.
So that's the other thing. And the third thing is something related to text comments. So
Right.
you might be aware, like the textual data is
Right.
such an unstructured data. So and the way people write comments here or there is very pathetic. So
Mm-hmm.
it requires a lot of cleaning and
Mm-hmm.
understanding. But now that we have LLMs, large language models, so they kind of understand text very well. So this is the golden chance to
Right.
utilize all those information which was mere unuseful for us previously. So that's what we are trying to do. Uh, we are trying to see the major themes in those comments
Mm-hmm.
which we have, and how those themes vary year by year,
Mm-hmm.
and which of the themes are like most trending themes right now among the
Mm-hmm.
institutes, and which are kind of diminishing
Mm-hmm.
themes which were like maybe which were trending a couple of years ago, but now it's like all the trusts are over that thing now. So those kind of things we are doing using BERT topic and LLM, large language models.
Right. So, do you think similar role of a data scientist for other domains need not be education? They would be doing like similar kind of work, probably.
Yes, probably. I think currently most of the work in the market is being done on generative AI, which is
Yeah.
Gen AI and large language models. So I think 2 weeks ago I got an opportunity to talk to one fellow data scientist who is also working in civil service, but in another department, in Department of Statistics. I think it's called ONS, and he's working on something really cool. So is he's trying to answer questions. So it's kind of creating a chatbot which gives you output in a tabular form, so
Right.
you can just download it.
Yeah.
So let's say if you ask the model uh, about football, how many goals a particular player scored,
Mm-hmm.
and of give me the history of that player's goals and assists over the past
Mm-hmm.
5 years, and compare it to some different players. So it will
Mm-hmm.
give you all the data in tabular form,
Right.
which is very easy to digest
Mm-hmm.
instead of normal textual
Right.
outputs, which is just for our understanding.
Right. Is it just for a specific company like the sports domain, or is like a generic tool that is trying to
Yeah,
cater
so I
for?
think what he's trying to develop is for the government.
Uh-huh.
So it will be hosted on Gov UK site. So it will
Mm-hmm.
be majorly for answering government related queries.
Right. Where is this guy from?
So I think is from Britain itself.
Right. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you should connect me with him. I can get an interview. I mean,
yeah,
learning a
sure.
lot of stuff,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And one good thing about data science right now is like it's going forward at very fast pace.
Yeah.
So we have to keep up with the things coming out in the
Right.
market.
I've I see a lot of growth in Gen AI.
Yeah,
Uh, Catalyst being ChatGPT.
yeah,
What are the other things? If you can recollect any.
yeah. I think GPT 4.0 is really top notch right now. It's state of the art. But I think Llama 3.1 is pretty
Mm-hmm.
good, and now they came up with Llama 3.2, which I haven't like specifically worked on. But I worked on Llama 3.1, which gave me similar outputs to GPT-4. I mean, it's very difficult to say which one's better.
Right.
And then Microsoft is coming up with their own Copilot, and then Google has its own Gemini ready.
Yeah.
So it's just like a tough race: Facebook,
Yeah.
Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI.
I've tried Copilot.
Yeah.
Mixed reactions, to be
Yeah.
honest. It does pick up pictures fast, and if you have a whole screenshot containing a question and the answers and options, you give it
Yes.
that and try to pick it out. But it's after repetitive use, it just gets confused between the last picture and the new picture. I don't know why that's happening. That shouldn't be happening.
Yes.
I mean, don't recognize the picture, but don't give me the answers from the last picture. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a bit funny.
It's true. And now we are talking about LLMs. So this LLM, large language models, have opened up a whole new domain.
Right.
It's called prompt engineering.
Yep.
So I've literally seen courses around prompt engineering.
Yeah.
So like how will you let the model know what you want from it?
Right.
So you need to like specify all the details and tell him how you want the output to be, so you can parse it into the tables, all those things.
You know, there is websites where it sells prompts.
Oh,
Like, if you want to get this done
yeah.
from a model, this is a prompt that you need to use. Just fill in the dashes.
Oh my
There
God.
are websites that sells prompts.
I mean,
yeah.
why don't I get these ideas in the first place? I can sell some prompts.
Right. Right. So yeah. How's the work environment?
Oh,
in general?
work environment is good. It's good will be an understatement. I think it's pretty good
Right.
because for me, I've also worked back in India.
Yeah.
And 2.5 years, I'll say, 2 years in a big tech, IBM.
Right.
Everyone will be aware of that name, I guess. But the work culture there is not that good, I'll say. I don't want to be harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of difference. I think here they value more as a resource, as a person, and they value your mental health a lot. So I see so many initiatives going around my workplace. So many motivational thoughts, jigsaw puzzles lying that down in the kitchen. Everyone's going there in an hour or so and just putting one puzzle in. And then we have meditation sessions on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. So all those things. So they really value you, and that you can see that in the deadlines they give you. So I think for a particular work, which will be told to be done in India in about 4 weeks by your manager, here it's straight up 8 weeks. So they are like, you have to do it in 8 weeks, but you don't have to worry. We are there to help. So that's the difference. So it motivates you to do good, and it also maintains your work-life balance, which is, I think, the most important thing.
Right. Now I have a similar experience as well. When I joined, I asked my manager if the annual leaves. I'm not used to taking the whole annual leave in a year. I just carry forward back in India, and get like Encash or something like that.
Yes.
And I was asking, do you get Encash for the annual leave? And the manager came back and saying, like, if you're not taking leaves continuously for like 2 months, we are sending you home.
Yeah.
for a week. You go for a vacation, roam around, and then come back.
True.
You can't take leaves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I was just surprised by the comment.
It's like for someone who has to struggle back in India to get at least one day leave, they are giving it for free.
Right, that's
difficult to digest.
Yeah, and it's just I got sick. I got really sick once, and then I started in the morning, and I just fell sick through the day. By 10 or something, I just rang my manager and said, right, I'm feeling sick. I'll take a short break and come back. And she's like, no. Go home, take rest, and ring me when you come. When you want to come back. That's what she told. And I was like, just walk around. It's all right. You can give me a brief, who to allocate and stuff.
Yeah,
That's done.
that's very similar to something which happened to me as well.
Right.
Because we as a person are very determined to work. So similarly for me, I was having a headache, and I just told my team lead that will it be okay if I'll be back in like 3 hours?
Right, yeah.
I'll take a quick nap.
Yeah.
I've just had my medicine.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you just take a leave. That's what sick leaves are for. You're feeling sick, you can take a leave. And I was like, but I think I need to do this. He said, no, it's okay. We'll just forward it to the next week. I said, okay.
But it's not like you can continuously take sick leaves. There's like,
oh yeah,
there's some kind of rules like continuously 11 days.
Yeah.
Or like intermediate leaves continuously 4 times in a period of some 6 months or something, and
Yes.
they will flag it. It's not an issue. If you're sick, you're sick.
Yeah.
That they know.
I
It's just a formality that they'll call you and
Yes.
ask you if you're all right, if you need any more kind of help or medical
Correct,
attention
correct.
or something like that.
Yeah, and I think if you're taking a long sick leave, I think you need to show prescription or anything from doctor
Right.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Sunak or Starmer, before Sunak was going out, he kind of removed that rule or something. The prescription thing. There's a whole lot of controversy behind it. It's something about doctors giving out leaves prescribed. Yeah, I think GPs can give out the
Correct.
prescription
Yeah.
for leaves.
Leaves.
I think he stopped that.
Oh.
So there's a whole controversy. Their government was like, work more. Yeah. Oh, one thing I just recollected when you told me that, to put in questions and getting it in tabular format. In Power BI, they have this Q&A feature.
Okay.
Where you can just type in the question and then it give you the insight, give you the chart, tables and everything. Yeah, but it doesn't pick up everything.
I mean,
simple questions.
And it's based on the data you fed it.
Yeah, the data we fed, and you can like assign multiple words that the user can use for a particular thing. Like if you say something like let's say I need to find something related to something for age group between like 16 and 21, and then my data will have 16 and 21.
Correct.
But you can assign other aliases like youth, young people, and all the stuff like what a generic user can use. And you can use the question and then it's quite handy, but still needs a lot of work. I think the drawback would be because it's limited to the aliases that we give.
Data.
And it's not connected to the large model. It's just the data that we have, and it need not pick up everything and understand everything. So I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's quite handy though.
Yeah,
like self-service reports.
Yes, I think it based on our query, it generates an SQL behind.
Right.
And it has all the schema available, so that's how it fetches. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the way Power BI creates charts are really interesting. It's really good, compared to other. Oh, do you know we can feed a whole data set like an Excel spreadsheet into GPT or there's something. Cloud is another AI thing. It works on another model altogether. So we can feed an Excel sheet into it and ask it to create a dashboard. It can create a web dashboard, live one, interactive one, but it might not be that user friendly.
I know.
In the sense, the visuals might not be properly depicted. There might the ranges that it select or things like that, but still quite handy. You can just edit it.
If you have the normal framework.
Right. And I'm just thinking. Right. I'm interested in data analysis and visualization. If this thing improves further. Where's my job going?
I know. You will be the one telling him what to do.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And then there comes the prompt engineering that you told earlier.
Yeah.
And then there is website selling prompt engineering, so companies just can go and buy it. So
that's true.
That's something I thought about. I was just wondering what GPT can do with visualization. I thought it's gonna like give me some really bad images and really bad dashboard. It came out really good actually.
Yeah.
and for a normal person to create in like let's say Excel in itself a dashboard, a similar dashboard, it would take like 2 hours probably. They just did it in like seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Scary.
scary.
Everything. It's like
Again,
mixed feelings.
though, still need the human input for the insights.
Yeah.
It's just reading columns, and
That's
you need to
true.
know what the columns are
Yeah,
to really do the storytelling.
that's
So
true.
that part is still there.
Still there.
But again, then Power BI is doing this aliases and stuff. So if you keep doing, if the company has creating a dashboard for, let's say, employees, and they keep giving feedbacks to it, it'll get better,
Yeah.
with that particular data. That's not going to change. There's going to be historical data, and then there's going to be the new data coming in. But the model is continuously working on that one, and it can learn quickly. So
It can, and when I joined here, and I was a little worried. I was like, GPT and all these things. How will they go hand in hand with the work? So,
Right.
are there any hard and fast rules to not use any large
Right,
language
yeah.
model in the company, or how is it? But it turned out I was given the subscription of Databricks to work on
Right.
it, and it has its own AI.
Yeah.
So if I type down a piece of code and if I run it and it's not working, it just corrects it and
Yeah.
asks me if I want to accept the changes.
Right.
So it's like it's part of our work now.
Yeah, I mean, the full form of what was the full form of GPT? General purpose something?
Yeah.
The general purpose technology. So we just associated with ChatGPT. But when industrial revolution happened and engines came in, that was a GPT as well.
Oh, I know.
So whenever GPTs come in, if you're not adapting to it, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I try to consciously. I never used ChatGPT throughout the university. I've never touched ChatGPT for any assignments. Or
Never
anything.
did I.
Yeah. So I was just so skeptical about it. And but good thing about that is I really believe that we do develop a bit of a critical thinking while we are doing it. That's the only thing that we get from universities here. I don't think we are learning much other than that.
Yeah, I mean it's so some of the technologies which should be running as like for me, I'm studying data science and from a Russell Group University. I think I should have been taught few of the things which I wasn't, and the things which I was taught is, I think for us Indians, our education system, I think those things I already kind of learned somewhere in my statistics class of bachelor's first year or something like that. So it's kind of odd, but yeah, I think here you get to develop your critical thinking, your storytelling skills, your showcasing, reporting skills. How can you showcase a report? How can you showcase your work? Those things.
Right. I'm thankful for that, but I'm still just can't consume that. I just spend this much money.
Oh, that's true. That's really
that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah. I know.
And I did expect a lot of exposure with the industry as well.
Oh yes,
I didn't see it as
well.
That
yeah.
I did. There was a internship opportunity in between. It was offered to the management school, Triple Crown accredited. Yeah, they do connect with the industry.
Correct.
And since information systems management was a mix of information school and management school, we just got in. It was not for us, but we went in and got that. It was with a startup, so that was good. But I mean, I expect a lot more interaction with the industries. That was not there.
Yeah, at least for you got to get in somewhere. I was purely information schools.
Right.
I don't remember any such opportunity coming my way.
Yeah.
So it's like they taught us our degrees here, then you are on your own.
Right.
And they are just there to help. If you want any tweaks on your resume, that's all they can do, I guess.
That's not the best of tweaks.
Yeah.
I've gone there.
Yeah.
It's not. And but that's not what you expect from a Russell Group University, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I had pretty high expectations and they haven't been met. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Hugely disappointed.
Yeah. That's all.
But still, when you when you're using the facility here,
Yeah.
you're using your
Oh, yeah.
alumni card. So
True.
I mean, yeah, making use of the money.
Yes, I mean there are perks, but how helpful they are, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they're like putting a lot of money into infrastructure here, as you can see around.
Yeah.
And if you consider the mechanical engineering department, a lot of labs as well. So a bit of research going on in there. But I mean, you can expect it from a research-oriented university, concentrating more on the research, but a bit of industrial, bit more of industrial experience.
Yeah,
exposure would be nice.
I guess.
Yeah. On that note, coming to the point that I want to extract, I like to ask this is so that the whole purpose of doing videos like this is when I was in my 10th and 12th A levels here, there was nobody to tell me what a data scientist was or what they actually did and what changes they made in the field. Just go blindly with computer science, biology, or without knowing what you're gonna do after like 2-3 more years. So just want to put it out there, different roles, what they do actually, so that they know what to expect when you come out, and what are some of the you learn by doing. I mean, everybody does. Even though we put the info out there, you just listen and throw it away.
Yeah.
You learn from your experience. That's what I know. But still, some things you can avoid so that you're a bit about time, not wasting your time doing those stuff. So I was just gonna ask about your background. We just covered a bit here. You can start from 12th or anywhere you want. I just wanted to extract the bits that really contributed to getting this job. Like,
okay, it's I think it's not as simple as that.
Right. I know it's complicated. It will be a mix of factors, but my guess is a lot from the IBM experience contributed. To be honest, and then I'll leave it to you. What do you think contributed to the?
Yes, so I think so I'm from science background. If you talk about my 11th, 12th CBSE, and then
did you do computer science?
No. I had very interesting optional subject. It's called geospatial technology.
GIS.
GIS, RS, remote sensing, and all those things. Satellite navigation, mapping.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting. I don't know why I took it.
But there are opportunities here actually.
Are there?
A lot of GIS.
I used to be very good at it. Like
really?
In my 12th board exams, I got 96 out of 100.
Oh.
I used to love like all those geospatial related things. But then I chose to be an engineer. It was trend back then.
Right.
More of a trend back then.
Right.
Engineering, and I am electronics and communication engineer. So I think in my 3rd year or something around that, I had a subject embedded C. So
the low-level language.
Yeah. So I was kind of intrigued by the fact, and plus my final year project. For my final year project, I went on in the market. I got handful of registered transistors, Arduino Uno board, and it all costed me like 5,000-6,000 rupees. And I just looked at my colleague of computer science, and he just has his laptop, and the project is on there. And I was like, bro, it's not fair.
Yeah. I've worked a bit with Arduino, Raspberry Pi.
BeagleBone Black.
Yeah. I was into mechatronics when I was doing my mechanical engineering.
That's really
but
nice.
It's just I feel I mean, I'm interested in a lot of stuff, even history. I'm intrigued by it. So just feel like my efforts have been like distributed. I'm just trying to, bring it concentrated in one place so that,
trying to find your poison.
Yeah, I mean, I think I found it, because when I'm sitting with a piece of data, trying to analyze it and visualize it, I don't see time passing by. When I'm finished, it's like 3-4 hours gone. I'm just so into it.
That's a sign.
Right, that's a sign. Yeah, that's what I was looking into. Yeah,
it's good. So similarly for me as well, I think I was very into electronics, but basically on the coding part. Right. So I went on for few competitions in IIT Kanpur, it was line follower robot or things like that, which requires some backend code.
Right, got it.
So those things got me interested in coding, and then I used to code in Java back then, and there was a couple of sites, no endorsements though. It's Code Chef, HackerRank, and all these sites used to have companies which come and give you some tasks, and then you complete those tasks, you get an interview or something like that. So I thought I think like software will be my field is what I thought back then. So that's what I went on to do. I studied Java, and then it's very difficult world, as you told me. I also don't have any elder brother who was in IT sector, so it was very difficult for me as well. I went on and I found on the internet like JavaScript is very trending these days, and all the companies want you to use React, Angular, things like that. So then I did a project in Angular JS and Node.js in the background. And I thought, yeah, this will be something which will get me the job in today's market.
Right. Was this during your bachelor's or after?
It's after my bachelor's when I was preparing for public sector.
Right. That's I mean India, right? So,
India, yeah. It's so I studied electronics. I was preparing for GATE exam of electronics, which you might be aware. It's like graduate aptitude test for engineers.
Never got there.
Yes, and so I wasn't much interested. So in the back, I was just doing projects, so which I can show like this much of time I haven't really wasted. I've invested in learning something, so I can showcase that to the company, which is very important because they ask you about your gap years. Especially back in India.
Right. Yeah.
So, so I think I got the job in IBM as an application developer.
Right. How did you like apply and
stuff? Oh, it was a drive. I think it was something of a mass hiring, I'll say.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but it was off campus.
Yeah, got it.
So I just applied there, and there were a lot of students, and it took 2 days. So I think first day normal aptitude, and then coding round, English test, and second day personality test, and then the interview, and 2 rounds of interview. That's it. So I got the job as application developer, but they put me in operations.
Oh, yeah. This is really crucial. The first thing you go into, you get to learn a lot from your first job. And it can like really accelerate your career, or it can just hold you there.
Oh, it is.
I got into testing.
I can feel your pain. I was in operations, and I met a couple of guys. They were like, "Bro, do you want to exchange with us? We got testing." I said, "No, I'm good."
Right, that's why but. I would say I was put in a good position inside testing. If
then good.
It was in cloud, so the data migration project to AWS. So I mean, that was a good place to be in. At least something,
Yeah.
But fairly new client, new projects, no automation testing or anything set up. So I couldn't learn any of those. That would have been a really good skill. But yeah, I was just stuck in testing. So
yeah. And for me, I got into operations, and first 2 months I didn't realize that it's not right. I was like, okay, I got job now, so it's time to go visit some places around India. And then I was feeling kind of stuck, so I thought I'll get to do some coding somewhere now or then. But no, it was just going through emails and stuff, and that's something with these big tech companies.
Yeah.
They hire a lot of people, and then a lot of people leave as well the next year because they give you like 1-year contract or something, and then no one's ready to do this kind of work, so they get this work done from you, and then it won't matter to them if you leave because they haven't invested much in you. You just stayed there for a year. But I don't want it to be that guy, and I was kind of feeling stuck. And how I generally realize I'm stuck is that my resume is not growing. So if there is no additional skills added in like 6-7 months, it's like, oh bro, I'm stuck. I'm not learning anything new, because that's the scene of the market right now. It's growing at very fast pace. If you miss like couple of new things, and you can see yourself falling behind the other people.
Are you aware of the India growth story? like being fastest growing economy and having a lot of FDI coming in. I mean, we could be part of it.
Yes,
I think
you can
it's
be.
just a bit of. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but there is this obsession with government jobs.
That's true. That's true.
There's lack of. I mean, as a sender, maybe some of the states are really business friendly, but few states are still. I mean, we have different rules in states as well for setting up businesses. Really hard to set up businesses. I mean, if more enterprises come in, the FDIs would be used better. If the students coming out now do on demand skills, and then it could be part of the growth story. One. Or maybe I'll keep it for the end of the section. I'll have some controversy questions.
Oh, controversy. That will get your video going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So,
so when I was kind of stuck, I got an opportunity in DevOps, and I jumped right in. I said, I was born to do DevOps, is what I told my manager.
Right.
And then I got that position, and then I went back home, studied what DevOps is, and pretty interesting. It was kind of trending back then.
Right.
It was like companies were using legacy softwares. They wanted to move to cloud. They wanted to move to Git, Bitbucket, use CI/CD pipelines to automate their work. So that was good for me. I mean, 1.5 years I worked in DevOps, and I worked on every important tool out there. I worked on GitHub, Bitbucket, Bamboo, Jenkins, Udeploy, and Jira. So I was admin of Jira, which is like to manage your tickets. So I think that was pretty good for me.
Right. Yeah. I think this is a big part of the best part of the career. You got to learn a lot.
Yeah, a lot, because I don't know anything, and I was with someone very experienced in my team who also don't know anything, but he's senior.
Yeah, that's the beauty of moving into cloud.
Into cloud, everyone's new. Yeah, so it's just like I did couple of courses online, and then suddenly I went from here to here, and then my senior had unlimited trust on me. Like, this guy knows. So it's like he'll call me in every meetings and everything, and that's the most exposure I ever got. And then after that, so there was a point when I thought like data science is for me, and it's also a story. So I heard this word data science, data analysis, data engineering a lot, and then one of my friend was trying to find a job in this sector, so he asked me to do a project with him. So I said yes. I know who don't like an extra project in their resume. I said I'm in, and then I kind of remember back in the days we were doing signature recognition, and it was pretty interesting because once you think that this thing is possible, there are endless possibilities to it. Once you see what AI can do, then you can see most of the things we currently do will be going to be obsolete in the future.
True.
So that's one of the thing. And when I jumped into data science, I have no idea what to do, what not to. That's why I chose to do masters. At least if I'll not get the knowledge there, I'll get some base and something to get started. Because I still remember I was asked a question in couple of companies, and I got rejected after my bachelor's. They were like, you want a job in computer science, you are graduated from electronics and communication engineering, why should we hire you? And we can hire someone from computer science background instead. So it's very bad of them to ask this, because they, under the eligibility criteria, it says all branches.
Similar experience here. Did mechanical engineering, did testing. I wanted to come into data analysis, specifically, if possible, supply chain and operations, somewhere in there. And I was just looking at, what's like an intermediary course where I can do the transition.
Yes.
and so that's why I took information systems management, and specifically University of Sheffield, because they had a module on operations and supply chain, and it was the worst module of all the bits. So yeah,
Similar, very similar. It's like I took this data science. They have a module called business and intelligence.
Oh yeah, I did that. I had been.
And for me, business intelligence wasn't something what they taught us. It's just
True,
like you can relate.
I mean, you can just. I would say you can just take a Udemy course for that.
Yeah.
They'll get it done in 1 hour.
1 hour, yeah.
That we did.
That's true. That's true. But I think doing a master decision was just to make this transition happen. Because if you are going to enter some new domain, you need to showcase you have that level of education.
Yeah. And they do really give a lot of importance for the critical thinking skills.
That's true.
So and that's something that you could develop in universities in UK, because everything they do is like, even the goals of the outcome, it's like the preliminary one is critical thinking. So everything they teach us in a questionnaire, it's not like it's written in the book. No, they want us to question that. If it's written in the book, what's the supporting information? What's against it? Who said something against it? And does it make sense?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's one really good bit that I like, and I think University of Sheffield really molds you into doing research. And if you're going for PhD and stuff, it's a really good place to be in, because that's how they train you.
That's true. That's right. I think that's really good start for you, because I think it's true. We are taught to question things, why we are doing this and why not that.
Every module we write, they want us to critique every sentence we write. We are putting in a sentence and we need to critique that sentence.
And then support it as
well. And then we need to write our conclusion based on the argument. So that's like a really good way of, that's a really good way of problem solving. So
that's true.
That's a really good skill to have, and I'm thankful to uni for that. But I just expected, along with this, I just expected a bit more of
technical,
industrial, technical, things, and their thinking behind it is like a bit valid, because they are training us to do PhDs, do the masters. That's how research-oriented universities are, and the thinking that the technical stuff, it keeps changing and you can learn it on yourself is valid as well, because you need things like this for developing the critical thinking skill. So I mean, that's valid in that, it's changing times, and time is essential. So you get some tech in, that's what I would like to suggest the unis.
And like, coming back to your question, I think along this journey of mine, I guess my work experiences helped me the most, I guess, because here in UK they value a lot of your soft skills. Like, if you compare your technical skills and soft skills here in UK, I think they go hand in hand for a company. So if you have the ability to speak before other people, or ability to showcase your technical data to non-technical folks, and maybe you have the ability to change with like coming times, learn new things, adapt to the environment. So these things are really valued in here, and they really ask you questions about that as well in your interviews, which I supported with my past working experiences.
And if I was a recruiter, interviewing you, from the story that you told me till now, the thing that I notice the most is that you have been constantly trying to learn new things, do something apart from the mainstream. You've always tried to do that. So I think that's what they saw as well in you,
I guess
probably.
So.
I mean, apart from projects, I don't think it had much data science experience. I mean, you had a data engineering experience in IT, you could say.
Sort of data engineering.
And back with data science here, I think they saw, got the critical thinking skill. And then, I mean, combined, I think you were a good fit for the, probably that's why.
If you ask me about, like, one of the best things, I think, is that kind of learn things very fast.
Right.
So I think that's in my advantage.
Right.
So even if there's something new, and I might tell you that I know it,
Right.
and then if I know you are asking me tomorrow, then by tonight I
learn
know
it.
it.
You learn
I
it.
know it. Yeah.
How do you learn? Do you learn by practice?
Yeah. So basically, so YouTube is very good source. So and especially now you also have a channel.
Yeah. Also want to.
Yeah, so guys, for Power BI, you can just
Yeah.
you don't have to go anywhere. You just link is in the description.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the endorsement.
Yes, and then I think doing projects is the best practice. I think when you do a project, you really make decisions. You really think, should I do this or should I do that, and you get to do hands-on on something, which is something you won't get if you're just seeing and watching something, and which is also not something if you are like following a tutorial code, because then it's if something else changes, you'll think what to change.
Decision making skill. That's I'm learning too. I'm a constant learner too now, so I'm trying to make it usual, regular, and stick to one thing and not jump ships. And that's something I realized as well. And I'm a bit lazy, so
who is
that? I can't make myself sit and work, but it's changed. Like after coming here, it's changed. So I do practice now. So, and one thing I noticed is like I started off by watching videos. Then I slowly started off by taking up courses in Udemy, Coursera, and then following up. And then I realized, all right, I've done this dashboard. It looks good, and then I'm just thinking, oh, I didn't make any decision in the dashboard, right? Where things should be and what visualization I should use. I just followed what it showed. And I mean, I know how to do it, but I don't know what to do when something comes up. And that what to do is very important. That's what you need. And that's what this critical thinking skill comes into, and for that, you have to build your own kind of projects. You create your own requirements, or just get some requirements from some site and use that and create a dashboard to meet that requirement. That's a good thing too. That's something I would like to do. I'm trying to do.
And that's the right way.
I just learned it late. Hope the people who's watching the videos just realize it earlier. Because I have cousins who are doing courses in AI and stuff at the bachelor, so they realize it and then they do the proper thing. Just not just your classes, but projects matters a lot. The decision making skill matters a lot.
That's true.
And something that I think lacks in Indian education, they have a lot of technical stuff.
They have
packed with technical stuff, but what they lack is the critical thinking. You have something written in the textbook, you just have to write that in the exam, repeated. You don't have to question anything. You don't have to think by yourself if it's right or wrong. I mean, add a bit of both, and the Indian education system would be perfect.
Oh yes. In Indian education system, it's like you just by heart things sometimes, which I'm not very good at. So only subject I learned was maths. Not gonna lie, because every question changed. So that's where I can do better than the others, because everything is changing. So it's based on your RAM, not your ROM.
ROM, right. That's a good way to put it. Good analogy. And I told you I have like multiple interests. I do a bit of history as well, and it's not like academic history. Just like a time pass. While you are doing repetitive work, I put on a podcast from a historian or something, and then just.
Oh, so is it like any history?
Indian history, Nalanda and stuff, and India was the center of education and stuff. There are proofs in Indonesia and stuff where people had to pass a Sanskrit test to come to India. It's like a GRE that we take to go to US or IELTS that we take to come to UK. And then you go there, and then to enter the university, you have to debate with the teacher. So our culture has been debating, questioning things. I don't know how it changed. I'm not blaming anybody here. So
we don't want any controversies.
We don't want any controversies. So yeah, we covered the. I want to ask you about work culture differences. Anything more you want to add?
I think that's really all. We talked
Yeah,
about how
yes,
they value as a
yeah,
person and a
yeah.
resource.
That's great. I mean, it's just like if you can actually speak up if you can't do the work,
Yeah, that's true. And
and
they'll be listening to
right,
you.
they will be listening to you. So another example I want to give you was like so I told them like, do you stay back when you can't get the work done? So the reply that they gave me was, if you can't get the work done, it's either because we are not giving you enough resources,
Hmm.
or either because you lack training,
Hmm.
and we'll figure that out and we'll do the necessary. You don't
Yeah.
have to do the the overtime. Go home when it's time.
Yeah.
That's what they. And but special occasions, like we are going with a new system, go live. So
Hmm.
sometimes it's like critical, crucial time. Still, they haven't asked anything much more. They just asked us to come to office for
Nah.
that week. So that's like top notch.
Yes.
Going there. So
That's their extreme.
extreme, yeah.
Yeah, and like in workplaces, it's fine, and even in educational institutes like the University of
Yeah,
ours.
right.
So if you're getting stressed out for your assignment, if you think you're not
Right, you
able
get
to
extensions.
complete it, they give
Yeah,
extensions.
right.
So if you broke your finger, it's difficult to hard extension rather than if you said I'm feeling depressed and stressed out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they'll give you easily.
usually, so because here they value your mental health
Mental
as
health,
well.
yeah.
Like I'm that was just an example. If
Right.
you got your arm broke, they'll give extra. But still, they value physical fitness and mental fitness as equal, which is something I think has to be embedded in people of India.
Right. Especially like the the cases and the deaths that
Yeah,
just happened recently, so sad.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, the as a fresher, the work pressure can be really huge.
really huge.
But I just feel, I don't know, it might be just me getting old or being like from an old generation, but I think we had more of a dexterity to
Mhm.
withstand things, but that's not the right thing,
That's not the right
right
way.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, we are a bit stronger. I give that, and you need a bit strength as well, when you're
yeah.
starting off. But still, that's absolutely not the right
Yeah,
thing
I
to be
mean,
happening.
I don't want to go deep into this conversation
Right.
because many factors play in.
Play, yeah.
It's like back in India, the kind of relationships we have with our parents, with our
Right.
friends, is totally different of how people here have relationship with their
Right, yeah.
parents. So what makes us strong is we have such strong people around us, so
Right.
we know we can rely on them, and
Yeah.
they'll always be there for us.
Right.
So that's something which kept our mental state up
Right.
every time. But once you're out of home and once you are just all on your
Yeah.
own, it's very difficult.
It hits different.
Yeah, then you should realize you need to do something to get your mental state
Right.
to be good and healthy.
Right, and it hits different when it's winter.
Yeah.
This yeah, it's different when it's winter. Yeah, so another thing that would be helpful for the viewers is like, how was the job application, the interviews, and first most, how did you crack the ATS?
Oh yeah, it's something which I am replying on my LinkedIn like every day, I guess.
Right, yeah.
I have.
I mean, we'll put it together for mass media here.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I myself was thinking like, should I just post it
Yeah.
on my LinkedIn? Because every weekend I'll just sit and reply to at least 3-4 messages
Right.
asking the same question, and I'll just reply to one and then
Yeah.
copy paste. Of course,
Right.
I've done engineering.
Yeah, just send the video from moving forward.
Oh
Who will
yeah,
ask, yeah.
why not?
Right.
I mean, so yeah, I think cracking ATS is so ATS is like something of an AI governing us as an applicant,
Right.
I'll say. There are few of the things which I think helped me.
Mhm.
So I'll just go through those.
Right.
I think you have to be precise in the things you write, and it should all be targeting some or the other skills. So if you have written something in your resume and you just read it out of context, you don't have the context or what job you're applying to, and then from that sentence try to find out what skills does it showcase. Okay, so it can be a supporting sentence, so read the whole paragraph in itself and see what skills am I showcasing. It can be soft skills as well. Maybe you are showcasing like you are a good presenter,
Right.
or maybe you have critical thinking, you are fast learner, and it could be anything. So that's something which previously I just put in so much text in my resume,
Yeah.
and which isn't helpful. Someone told me make it bullet points, but it still was so much text. It was just in bullet points. So that's the first thing. Second thing, if you can showcase your work in like quantities, like
Right.
it should be quantifiable. So it could be percentages. So I did something which improved efficiency by 20%, or something like a quantity attached to it gives its weight.
Right.
And the bullet points should all start with some action words, I'll say,
Right.
like analyzed, visualized, generated, or like similarly, like it should showcase something you are working on. And I don't know if this thing works or not, because it was one of the first things I changed in my resume.
Right.
But going forward, I think for data science or data analysis, data engineering point of view, I think rather than writing down that I know data visualization as a skill, you can write out ggplot to matplotlib packages.
Right.
So it will put more pressure. And this is something which few of the folks working in data science told me
Right.
when I asked them how to improve my resume. And I think this is the another thing. So you make use of packages, rather writing machine learning, rather than writing that, you can
Specify. Be
more specific, by like be more specific, because it lets the company know, or the person know, or
Right.
the, let's say, ATS know, like these are the packages which relates to data science or something. And if you know these packages, obviously you know data visualization, because visualization is such an umbrella term.
Right.
And sometimes it also feels like it's been generated from LLM.
I just see the point in what you're saying. Going into specifics. ATS might be determine that visualization these packages, and if they are looking for that specific words for those packages, that can pick up that too. That's good.
And then you can so it's the AI who is judging you, so you can talk to the other AI as well. Make use of these technologies we have. Make use of ChatGPT, I'll say. You have the description of job right in front of you. Extract key points from that. Extract what skills are required from that job description, and put those skills in your resume. Because somewhere or not, we all have some of the, or many of the soft skills. It's just we don't know how to showcase them. We forget to specify our soft skills. I think that's something, and that's something related to ATS, which I think isn't a factor which helped me get this job, I guess, because the applications here don't
do the resume. They have the full written.
They have written questions, for which I have another technique. It's a star method, I guess. It's very good, and it's very useful for you as well as the other person who is reading out. So star it stands for situation, task, action, and the result. And then some people also add like learnings at the end, like what from that whole experience, what did you learn? But star itself is enough. So if you
in the application as well, I've never used that in applications. I've used that in interviews, but
I did that in application.
Right. Oh, that's
so that's what? Yeah. So here's an hack. Okay, here's an hack. So what are the general skills for data science? Which companies ask? They'll ask if you know SQL or something related to databases, Oracle, SQL, or database management. So you pick that as one skill. And then they ask if you're proficient in R or Python, maybe. You pick it up as another skill. And then they might ask you one of the tools, if you know Power BI or Tableau. Take it as third skill. And similarly, create like 5-6 main skills. And for all 6 skills, write down your star for that.
Right.
And just keep it in your repository.
Yeah.
So it's ready to go wherever you are filling application. You don't need to write it down again and again. So it's like you might have done Power BI. Where have I done? I have done it in the uni, or did I do a project, or did I do a certification? Somewhere you might have done. So what was the situation? What was the task? What actions I did? And what was the result? As a result of this, I managed to make a dashboard which simplified.
That's actually perfect. Actually.
Yeah, so you have a repository. Yeah, so now you have a repository. You have like 6 star method skills right there in one document, and then for the soft skills as well, you have like 5-6 soft skills in the star method written there.
That's a good hack. Never thought of it.
Yeah, and it saves time. So when you are like writing answers for new application, you see what skills are required. You just copy those things, paste, submit. Because you know how many applications we have to do each day.
I know. I'm still doing.
Yeah, rejection rate is very high.
And you know, this is why I like this, and I want to do this more, because I get to learn a lot while doing this. I mean,
yes,
we don't get to see each other often.
Oh yeah,
work. Then you get Saturday, Sunday. You have to do laundry, groceries, cooking. I mean,
living alone.
I mean, even when we were in uni, we had time to talk about, but we didn't have the exposure to talk anything about. So we used to talk
about parties.
Yeah. So yeah, like this is perfect. So yeah, that's how you cracked 8 years. How was the so here you had the application through their website, and then
it's through civil service jobs.
Right.
So they list all the civil service job application. It can be contracted, it can be permanent job, and you can just filter based on what particular field are you aiming for. So they have a lot of jobs. So I'll advise go and have a look for each and every one. And then for a simple application, like generally it's like 3-4 questions. So two of the questions will be about your technical skills. So it will be very specific for the job they want.
Right.
So let's say I'm in department for education. Let's say it's a hiring for department for education. But what I currently do in my job might not be what they ask, because it's for some other team in department for education, which is working on some other tools and technologies. So it will be specific to that. And then you need to answer how you are perfect fit for them.
Right.
And you can use as many star things in there as you can.
So how many stages did you have for the interview?
So once you clear the written application, it's the interview. Once you clear the interview, you are in.
Right.
That's the good part.
Just the interview, no skill test or anything?
No. So it depends.
Right.
So I also applied for statistics exam, and there was a skill test. But I managed to pass the exam, but there was a catch. So I think the Department of Statistics, they require 3 years.
Before you have to stay in UK for 3 years.
For your clearance, security clearance, which was not the case in Department for Education, luckily.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Your statistics, you handle a bit more delicate data,
I think,
so you need
yes.
Even anything related to nuclear or anything like clearance. So, yeah, I get it. Right. So, did you have any presentations or anything like that?
Yes. So they gave me us a data set, and just I wanted to showcase the insights.
Was it on the day of?
So they gave me a day ago.
All right. And just one day.
One day ago. So like I'll say roughly 24 hours ago, and then they wanted me to just put together something, and which was like, it's like diving in an ocean and trying to find something out of the data set. So it's just columns, and I have to make meaning
out of it.
Yeah, and then I have to make a story out of it.
Conjure the magic, create the story.
Yes. So I think it was pretty good, because that's what we have been doing in our uni as well. We are,
especially for the dissertation.
For the desert. Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. To be honest, loved it.
It was very good. We used to be here in the library.
Right. Yeah, I know. me, Luke, and everybody, we had this meeting in one of these rooms, right?
Oh,
Before
yeah.
deciding what to do.
Yes,
Right.
yes. As we were deciding our
Yeah,
roadmap.
yeah, and the methodology and all the stuff. Oh, it was so stupid. But the learning curve was really good. Dissertation was the most favorite part of my.
Yeah, same for me as well.
Yeah.
It was something which I think I developed from
Right.
the scratch, and
yeah.
it went on to go bigger and bigger and bigger until
True.
it was fully completed.
Actually, I had to bring mine down,
Shorter and shorter.
just the possibilities that just exploded before me, and then I had to like collect everything back and bring it
Yeah.
back to some insights, and focus just on my research question. There
Yeah.
were like plenty of opportunities.
And that reminds me of one more good thing about the university is that so I was trying to run a piece of code, and it was based in RNN, recurring neural network, and the thing was in my personal laptop with my GPU, it was taking me like 26 hours or something to run the code. So then I came to, I think, Diamond, which is one of our libraries, and then there was some good computers there which were running them in like 15 hours.
Right.
But then I really talked about this with my supervisor, and he provided me with additional computational resources for which you can just apply and your supervisor approves, and you get a PC which is in some
Right.
place else, like an online thing, and then just you can run your code on it. And it's really a supercomputer, I guess, because it was running my code in like 45-46 minutes.
Right. Oh my god, that's a huge
And
difference.
yeah, because if you want to do a dissertation and if you run a code, and after 1 or 2 days you are realizing it's bad, and then you make a tweak in like half an hour, and then again leave it for 1.5 days, so you will be stuck forever writing your results. So once I get hold of that supercomputer, I was like, yeah, in a day I made it work
Right.
by making tweaks here and there and like fine tuning my code.
Right. Perfect. So, do you recollect any interview questions?
Yes,
such?
I think there were technical questions. So my day-to-day job for which I was hired was about uh, mostly R, and then a little bit of Python.
Mm-hmm.
So in R, they wanted me to have good hold of visualizations.
Mhm.
So technical questions roamed around that. It was nothing which I wasn't prepared for, because each and every question was aligned with the job description,
Right.
I guess. So it was very specific kind of technical interview. And somewhere in the interview I mentioned something which I shouldn't have, so they started questioning me on that thing.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my bad. It's
Right.
because I thought it's cool.
Oopsie.
Yeah. I thought it was cool at first, and then they started asking question. But have I read on it like 2 days ago before the interview, so it was fine. And then the second part of the interview was all about soft skills. So I can recollect, not exactly, but the first thing was, have I ever presented to anyone non-technical?
Right. Yeah, that's one question I get
Yeah,
too often too.
too often. Yeah, because that's the nature of the work we
Right,
do, I guess. Because as data scientists, the insights are more useful to the people in decision making or strategic management teams,
Right.
and they can't just read tables. So we come in play, we create insights from the tables, we develop models, and then it's important to make them understand those things.
Right.
So it's one of the skills. And secondly, I'll say they asked me if I think they asked me if I have ever changed someone's mind or perspective about
Right.
something.
Yeah.
It was like, have you ever like
Influencing
influenced
skills.
something? Yeah, so it was about influencing, which I wasn't prepared for actually. in my interview.
Right.
But I came up with something very quick, which I just recalled from my dissertation experience about me and my supervisor having a disagreement about something. So this is the second thing. And then there was, I think, one more behavioral question, and that's I think that's it. So if I'll weigh like the time I spent in the interview, I think 10 minutes technical and 15 minutes soft skills. Yeah, that will be
that's
the
the pattern
distribution.
I see as well.
Yeah.
And yep, that's great. Did you have face any problems between the interview and getting the offer letter?
I think once I gave my interview, I first received my provisional offer letter. And once you receive your provisional offer letter and you kind of accept it, then all the processes of background check starts, and that's the time when you are like most worried in a sense, like you have a job but you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So should you apply for jobs or should you just
Relax a bit,
and then there is a thought in mind, like will they ask for security clearance for more than 2 years? Because you never know in the end, if they tell you that oh sorry, you are just in UK for a year and we can't hire. So that's the time, I think, which took a month for me. And rest everything was, I think, streamlined. Once every background check was successful, I got my offer and joining within a couple of weeks.
So for this specific job, once you knew that you cleared ATS and you got the interview dates, probably, how did you prepare for it?
That's I think a great question. So for the technical skills part, I think for me it's very different. So I always have many cheat sheets handy. So I rely on cheat sheets a lot because, as I told you, I can't remember things. Yeah, so before interview, there are like 23, 24 cheat sheets which I go through, and starting from R, then ggplot to different matplotlib, and then so these are basics one. Then there is some statistics, probability related cheat sheet. So I just go through and just look at once, and then there are machine learning, supervised and supervised learning methods. So I go through those cheat sheets, but it's just to refresh your memory. But
I use W3 School.
Yeah, W3 School is pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it's my best companion in SQL, I guess.
Yeah. I use it for SQL as well.
Yeah, it's very good for SQL with the way they have ordered
all the things. You can get a glimpse of all those things. Half an hour maybe.
And then you get a working example as well, and a question as well, I think, at the end. And then I think after brushing up my memory, I just stick to the job description. And then I try to see what things they can ask and the related areas. So it's very kind of a targeted approach. So you have your base ready, and then on top of that, you put a layer which is targeted just for this interview, your preparation for this interview. And then again, you can make use of GPT engines and ask them about like what are the possibilities. Like if you can't deduce yourself from the job description, then you can ask the LLM, like what are the surrounding areas, or what's the main modules required for this interview. And then for the soft skills section, I think that's very spontaneous. You don't need any preparation as such. And once you start giving interviews, I think
you'll get used to it.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 interviews, you'll cover all their questions. So after third interview, it's like every question there could be has already been asked.
Yeah, I kind of started writing down questions, soon after I finished my interview, before getting onto bed, so that I don't forget. I'll probably put some videos on that.
Yeah.
Let me get a job first. I'll do it. I promise. It has pretty good questions. Just don't have.
Oh, that's good, because I think
and it's just time. I just need time to get all these things done.
Yeah, because it's a good point, because you always forget what the interview questions were.
Yeah, that's what.
That's what I'm just trying to realize.
Just after the interview, you just want to put everything away from your brain.
True
that. Done. And then you after the sleep, and then you try to recall.
Yeah.
What did I answer that for? So I just realized that it after a few interviews, and then I just started jotting down. So I just want to collate it and then do a video later.
Yeah, you can put together like a whole repository of questions.
True. Yeah. So what are you learning now? Keep learning. So, what are you learning now?
Good question. So I think so. Currently working in LLMs, so learning a bit more about LLMs. But I'm also doing a course side by side, and all credit goes to the company because they gave me the credentials for the course, and because it was like 1,500 pounds, and then the certification after the course was 200 pounds, like 1,700 pounds sponsored course. So it's like how to make use of parallel computing to get your jobs done in Databricks using PySpark. So I think that's something very useful because like after 2 weeks, it's just been 2 weeks of that course. But after 2 weeks, I started to realize like I could have done this thing 8 times faster. Yeah, because when you are dealing with small data set, it doesn't make much of a difference because something which is done in 1 second, what will you achieve doing it in like 15 milliseconds or like 150 milliseconds? But if something is really taking like 15 minutes, then you want it being done in like 1 or 2 minutes. Then when it matters the most, especially when you're trying to build up any real-time application, then it's very important because someone won't just click and then wait for the result like for 15 minutes because that's not how it works. So I think that's something which I have been learning, and it's a big course, a 6 months course, and I have one class and one lab of 2 hours every week.
So, do you do it after work or in between work?
So it's in between work.
Oh,
so,
they give you time to.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know?
Yeah. So if I'm studying, I'm studying. They know I'm studying. So it's I'm
Oh
busy.
my God, that's time. Like that's dreams come true.
Yeah.
To be getting paid for the time, getting paid for the course.
Yes.
And you're learning stuff.
Learning stuff.
I mean, perfect.
And then I always try to keep my eyes and ears open to latest developments being made and what things are changing in data science field. And to be honest, I haven't applied a lot of jobs, but sometimes now and then I just go through some of the jobs, just read their description to see what things are going on in the market. Especially if there is any, let's say, job listing like for any big four companies or something like that, just to get an idea like what things are currently going on in the job market.
Right. Let's just get a bit spicy. So, what do you think? New people coming to UK, should they come? Is there opportunities? How do you see the market now for data science?
Yeah, I think market is still quite open because but you know it's very risky and very personal. So I can just provide some of my experiences and then let people decide on their own because guys, please don't follow my advice. I think I got the job by fluke, to be honest.
No, you didn't.
Yes. So I think if you are trying to come to UK to do master, especially, I'm not talking about bachelors. I have no idea in that domain. I've never been.
Let's not touch that.
Yeah, I've never been down that road. So if you are trying to come here for masters after your bachelors, I think it's better to get some experience back in India.
True. Good advice. I go hand in hand with that.
Yes, because I think it's very, very important. First of all, you know about how to work, how to be in some, like how to be around around your colleagues, first of all, and secondly, even if your experience won't be counted here as an experience, it will still be counted as something you did which you can still do.
Right. So, and you get to write something in star. You get to say something for star.
So it puts on like a very good face of yours in front of recruiters. Especially I think in my case this was one of the good things. And I can also say this by seeing some of my friends, I guess, because people who come here without job experience are really finding it tougher to grab a job here, is what I have been noticing around me. Especially if you're an immigrant.
Right. A bit of controversy on that. You know, the recent protests, as they call it, that happened, do you think it might have some effect on the hiring? It might have some effect on the people. What are your thoughts?
I think it affected people already, I guess, because this year we see the intake is dropping.
Right.
For I think our own university, I'm not sure about the statistics, but I think it decreased. The intake decreased from previous year. But that might not be due to this factor. It can be the recession which UK was like in previous year. They declared themselves as in recession, and now that they've recovered, I think for my particular department and whole of civil service, the only time they stopped hiring was during the elections,
Right.
a month before and a month after that.
Right. But I'm just a bit worried about the, trying to bring down the immigration numbers and stuff.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, because there like always there have been some speculations like this year or the other year they are going to decrease the PSW visa which we get to 6 months.
Yeah, but they already changed the rules for the cutoff that we need for sponsorship.
Sponsorship cutoff is now 38,000, I guess.
That's like, I mean, you need a mid-senior to senior level here for that kind of money.
I think which 38,000 was previously for the PR, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Now it's for the skilled worker visa. So yeah, but still these ways aren't like very harsh,
Right.
If you still get 2 years, and if you manage to get at least a year of experience in those 2 years, you can make that jump, I guess.
Right, true. And the students do have a bit of a leeway in the salary required as well. So could be worked out, but getting the first job is really hard though.
It's very hard.
Very, very hard.
I think getting your feet inside is really hard. Once you are in there,
then things starts going smoothly. Then it's just the learning process.
True.
And the first job is really, really important. Around this, I had a different perspective. I just heard somebody in a banking company here, and there was openings coming up for the roles I'm looking for, and then they were trying to refer me in or something. I mean, at least let my resume to the HR team or something. But what happened was that's when the rule changed.
Oh, sponsorship rule.
Yeah,
you mean?
I think there were like 2 openings, and those jobs went to India. They hired 4 people. For the same cost. So I'm just wondering that they changed the rules so that the people here can get more jobs. But as a side effect, a lot of jobs are going out. It's been outsourced.
That's true.
That's a perspective I never thought of before like hearing that news.
Yeah, I mean, like for a starter wage back in India, you can like for someone starting here on a
25.
normal wage, 25, you can hire 5 people in India.
Yeah, that's what.
And if you want to, so it's Indian work culture, so you might want to hire just 3 and make them do work of 5 and make profit out of the rest 2 people. But I think I think it's sometimes it's really harsh on people, because I've seen some good talents, which come here to do jobs, and then just because of the salary requirements, they can't get sponsorship, and then they need to leave the company, because even if the company wants to hold them, it's a big investment for the company as well. And not every company has sponsorship license, so that's also something we need to keep in our mind. Yeah,
I do really want to give the viewers a perspective of what your status is, but let's not bring that in. It's just a bit more confidential. Let's leave it out of the conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how long we have gone. Just conversation just took off. It was perfect. Lot of things unpacked. I'm just worried about how I'm going to edit this video. So I think I'm not going to cut anything. I'm just going to put it as such out there. So, everything had a lot of messages in there, a lot of things to learn from this conversation. So I'm just gonna put it as such. And do you have anything? I learned a bit. I have some things I need to try out with my resume.
I learned as well.
Application process as well. So
I'm going home and start like making my own website for prompt engineering. So you guys can buy my prompts, because as humans we are prompting from our childhood. That's what we are doing.
Right. I mean, I think the history one, my other interest, just why humans have reached apex is the ability to pass on information from one generation to the other. Writing down, or that's why we are here. So it's just information being passed.
True.
Yes. You want to say anything before you sign out?
I think to all, like everyone watching this video, there are a lot of jobs out there in data science, but you don't have to lose your confidence going for those jobs, because I faced many rejections. I used to wake up in the morning and see my email full of like, sorry, unfortunately
that word.
the first word, unfortunately. And so I don't know if there is any feature, but just put a filter on those unfortunately emails so that they move to different folder, just like it is in Outlook. And then get yourself ready and again apply for jobs. And one strategy I'll advise is, again, no endorsement of LinkedIn here, but set out filters for jobs you are looking for, and try to apply every day, because maybe if you miss one of the job, that might be the one for you. So apply as many jobs as you can, and apply them with full heart. Just don't apply it like it's just some another work which your parents told you to do. So just apply it with your heart, and make a repository of your star methods. Make a repository, make a big resume out of which you can cut out things and make a tailored resume. So these are some advice I want to give, and yeah, that's it. Maybe some of you guys will be the next one to be here in the podcast.
You need to get me contacts so that I can get more people in.
Yes.
I mean, lots to learn here. To be honest, it's too much to learn.
Yeah, it was nice experience for me as well, because I told you I get queries all the day, and what you are doing, making these videos, I think it will reach to many people who are in need of exactly these things
Guidance,
that you're talking about, I guess. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I started off with a day in your work, to get the idea of what it does, and then move backwards.
So I think it was an amazing experience for me, and I know you like from a long time, but this is the most serious conversation I ever had. Yeah.
I mean, the other times just
and I know once the camera shuts, we'll be back again.
Right, I'll get one more shot in from there probably.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me, and thank you very much, you guys, for watching this video. Please like this up, subscribe, and put the comments in the comment section.
Thank you.
And that's it. If you found this conversation useful, leave a comment. Try to bring in more professions. You can leave a comment on the professions you want to see, and I'll try to find people and talk to them and get some insights that you could use. Thank you.